Some lessons don't come with a warning. They just arrive one ordinary day, and they change you forever. Thomas was 42 years old, and life looked good on him. A finance executive in Boston, a beautiful home, a wife who drove a Range Rover, 2 kids in private school. By every measure the world uses to keep score, Thomas was winning. But there was a woman across town in a small apartment who was cold. Her name was Eleanor. She was 68. She raised Thomas alone after his father walked out when Thomas was just 4 years old. She worked 2 jobs for years, sometimes 3. She sold her jewelry to pay his university fees. She ate half portions at dinner so his plate could be full. She buried dreams she had for herself so deeply that she eventually forgot she ever had them. All of it, every sacrifice, every quiet night alone, every dollar she didn't spend on herself, she did it so Thomas could have a chance. And Thomas had taken that chance and run with it, all the way to Boston, all the way to a life that barely had room for her anymore. He called once a month, maybe. His wife had never really warmed to Eleanor. Nothing dramatic, just small things, a cold shoulder, a busy schedule, a quiet pressure that made visits feel inconvenient. Thomas told himself his mother was fine. She was strong. She had always been strong. He visited her on a Saturday in November. He stayed 20 minutes. The apartment was freezing. He noticed the heating was broken and told her he would sort it out. He did not sort it out. He was already mentally back in his car before he even reached the door. At the door, Eleanor stopped him. She was thinner than he remembered. Her hands were small and cool when she reached up and held his face, the way she used to when he was a boy. She looked him in the eyes for a long, quiet moment. Then she said one word, "Remember." Thomas gave a small, uncomfortable laugh. He kissed her cheek. He drove home and told his wife about it over dinner. They both smiled at the quirky old woman moment. Then they talked about something else. 3 weeks later, a neighbor found Eleanor in her apartment. She had passed quietly in her sleep. The heating was still broken. The grief hit Thomas hard, but it hit differently, like something heavier than sadness, something closer to shame. And it got heavier the morning the estate lawyer read Eleanor's final letter aloud. In the letter, Eleanor explained what she meant by that one word. She wanted him to remember the night she stood in the rain working a double shift so he could go on a school trip with his friends. The morning she pawned her own mother's ring to pay his first year of university. The years she ate less so he could eat more. The dreams she never chased because chasing his felt more important. She didn't write any of it with anger. She wrote it with love. Quiet, steady, unshakable love, the kind that never asked for anything back. But then the lawyer paused and revealed one more thing. For 30 years, Eleanor had kept a small savings account. She added to it little by little, month by month, year by year. She never touched it, never needed to, because every time life got hard, she sacrificed instead of spent. The account held $180,000. She left every single cent to a women's shelter 3 blocks from her apartment. Not $1 to Thomas. And her letter explained exactly why. You have everything you need. These women have nothing. Remember me by doing what I did, choosing someone who needs it over someone who wants it. Thomas sat in that lawyer's office and wept in a way he hadn't wept since he was a small boy. Not because she left the money to strangers, but because he finally understood what she had been saying his whole life. Not just at that door, but in every sacrifice, every quiet night, every half-eaten meal. She had been showing him what real love looks like, and he had been too busy to look.
The people who sacrifice the most for us are often the ones we make wait the longest. Don't wait until a grave teaches you what a life was trying to show you. Look up, pay attention, say thank you while there is still time to say it.